Hi, this is Kathy Callahan Brady, and welcome to In the Trenches. Today I'm really excited that I get the opportunity to spend some time with Jim Pannucci and talking a little bit more in terms of what you do. But mostly, I want to be able to thank you, too, in terms of what you do, because I know you're really busy, and spending time with our entrepreneurs at FTSE is really important to me, but you just seem like you've got all the time in the world, which I know you don't. Showing up at 7:30 in the morning and helping to advise our clients and getting them connected and stuff with what you do is I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, so thank you.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy being involved, and as you know, I work for the Frederick National Laboratory here in Frederick, Maryland, and as a national laboratory, we are a scientific resource for our region and the nation, and participating as a scientific collaborator where we help other organizations accomplish their cancer research missions, or just participating in the scientific advisory board is a key part of what we do.
Yeah, well, you've helped so many of our clients already. I mean, just being able to be there and advising them in terms of how to commercialize technology and just getting them connected to the laboratories that are there at I have a hard time saying this,
Sure.
Federal National Lab.
Right.
That's just been really helpful with them as well. So thank you for that. But can you tell us a little bit more about, I mean, how many labs is it? How did it come about? A lot of people don't know what it is. It's just FNL.
Sure. So the lab has a long and really rich history. Started in the late 60s, early 70s when the war on cancer under President Nixon was launched. And we've been working primarily at Fort Detrick ever since then. Within the last 5 or 6 years, we were designated by the National Cancer Institute as the Frederick National Laboratory for Cancer Research. And with that change came the opportunity to expand our partnership with external organizations, and this would be biotech companies, universities, nonprofit research foundations, and pharma companies. And the purpose of that is to leverage the really great investment that the NCI has made in our facilities to help accelerate cancer missions around the country and around the world. We're about 2,000 employees, mostly stationed on Fort Detrick in our newer facility, the Advanced Technology Research Facility, which is about a mile up the road.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility and stuff as well. So gorgeous. So part of what we wanted to talk about today is FTSE celebrating its 15-year anniversary, which we're pretty excited about. And we're also going to be celebrating our 10th anniversary with the Fort Detrick Alliance Technology Showcase. So we're always excited about that particular event. But we're always excited about some of the new technologies and stuff that are coming out. So can you talk about some of those? In terms of what we might be seeing, things that might be available. You know, I'm trying to figure out exactly what,
Sure.
without revealing too much.
Right. So let me start by saying the Frederick National Lab has a vast scope in cancer research and also HIV, which a lot of people don't know. We have been studying HIV for many, many years. Most of that work relates to understanding how and where the virus hides inside cells. So there's some really great anti-HIV drugs on the market now that are helping many, many people, but those are all suppressive. It keeps the virus out of your blood. But to really cure somebody, you have to remove virus from cells. And we've got some great animal models, some great assay technologies, and we're helping biotech companies and pharma companies, as well as our government customer, to explore new drugs and new therapeutics to help make that happen. In the cancer mission, we work on a variety of things. Some of what's hot now is biomarkers, right? The ability to use genes and proteins that are expressed to be able to get early diagnosis for cancer and track treatment progress as it goes on. We do a lot of three-dimensional modeling and microscopy related to the structure of cells, which helps understand how cancer is occurring and how drugs interact. We do a ton of DNA sequencing. And that's to understand the genetics behind cancer, even down to individual cells in a tumor, which may have different genetic abnormalities or different genes being expressed, and we're trying to sequence one cell at a time to get a better understanding of what causes cancer. In terms of technologies that I may talk about, there's a couple of hot ones that we'll be able to brief on. First is a set of renal cell carcinoma biomarkers. This is very important. this type of kidney cancer is the most common form of kidney cancer, which affects about 60,000 people a year. Kidney cancer is tricky because it tends to be one of those where the symptoms hide in your body until it's spread and it's kind of late. But if you have a good set of biomarkers where you can enable early detection, kidney cancer is very treatable.
Wow.
We also have a really great method of identifying these biomarkers, which is based in mass spectrometry, which would be also interesting to partner around too.
Yeah.
Another technology relates to very accurate quantification of isotopically labeled chemicals. In cancer research, it's often useful to radio label, right? Make radioactive either drugs or cells and follow where they go in the body so you can understand how they're interacting with cancer cells, how they're interacting with normal tissue. And the purpose of making them radioactive is to not only visualize those on like an MRI or a PET scan, but also be able to quantify. The current method of quantifying those chemicals requires 2 machines, and it's not very active. But we've developed a technology at the Frederick National Lab to reduce it to 1 machine that's 10 times more sensitive. So this should be a great way to really make this type of cancer drug discovery better.
Wow. Yeah.
The final technology we'll talk about is a class of anti-cancer molecules that seem to be active against prostate cancer, certain leukemias, and melanomas. And that's reason because they all share a similar target molecule. But what makes our molecule very interesting, that particularly in prostate cancer, is when we test them head-to-head with the leading prostate cancer drug in the assay that we're running, it shows 10-fold greater activity. And we believe this is because it binds much tighter, and which means that it'll be more effective, or you can use less of it. But ultimately, we hope this will be a better approach to these types of cancers.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
4 really great ones.
Yeah.
That is really exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's get a little bit more personal. Because
Sure.
what about you? I mean, how long have you been doing this, and how did you get to where you are today?
Sure. I've been with the Frederick National Lab running their partnership development office. This is all our external collaborations for almost a year and a half now.
Okay.
And of course, the lab is operated by Leidos Biomedical Research, Inc., which is a subsidiary of Leidos, the parent company. And I worked for Leidos for 10 years before joining the lab in their life sciences department. So I've been around drug discovery and vaccine development and sort of contract life sciences for many years now.
I was going to say, it sounded like you know all of this really, really well. There had to be some sort of background to that. Is that your background in terms of where you went to school, or?
Yeah, I went to school at the University of Connecticut and majored in pathobiology, which is a really great experience. I got a master's degree in biology at Seton Hall University in New Jersey, and my PhD in microbiology at the North Carolina State University.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very
and then
impressive.
I guess my entry into national lab science, after I was at North Carolina State, I got the opportunity to go do a postdoc position at the Los Alamos National Laboratory in their bioscience division. And that was a lot of biodefense and biothreat reduction work that we did there. I got to understand the national lab environment and how to operate and be successful there. So it's great to sort of come back to that same sort of environment now.
Yeah, so I understand why you know so much about all of this. I really appreciate that. So tell people a little bit in terms of the advice that you might give one of these business owners who wanted to commercialize some technology.
Sure. I think what I would suggest, at least from my perspective, given my background, is that you should have some rock solid science, right? A small company may only get one chance to pitch, either to a sponsor, to a venture capital company, whatever it is. But if your data is shaky, or the pedigree of your science is not what it should be, you may not get another chance. And it's difficult for small companies because they don't have the expertise to cover, maybe all scientific areas, or the equipment or the facilities. And that's where effective partnership comes into play. And at least for the companies that I interact with, or that Frederick National Lab interacts with in cancer biology or in HIV, we want to be able to be that partner that helps generate that data that not only helps their company, but pushes the science forward.
Sure. Great advice. And thank you for just partnering with FITCI and stuff too, and everything you've done. I really appreciate that.
It's been a huge pleasure. And a chance to learn a lot too. The connections that I've made and to get a sense of what's being developed in terms of innovation, it's been really valuable.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming and doing this interview too. And part of that is because, you know, we've got everybody clustered in all these different teams. So really, you only know a few people. We've got to get everyone together because we've got 44 clients right now, which is pretty exciting. So they get the opportunity to kind of get to know you through the videos as well.
Sure.
So
That'd be great.
thank you again.
Thank
for your
you.
time.
A lot of
Appreciate
fun.
it. I know. We've got some exciting stuff coming up.
Sure.
We really do.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for tuning in. This is In the Trenches, and you can learn more about our videos and the people that kind of the inside scoop of FITCI at fitci.org.